Pull up a chair, fill up a plate, come over early, you gonna stay late. Ain't nothing better than music and friends. It's gatherings and guitars.
Everyone, welcome. We are so excited to have you here on our podcast, Gatherings and Guitars. And our guests today are Max and Heather Stallings, some of my faves. I love these guys.
Hello.
So-
hello.
We
love you
Thank you for
too.
having us. We're very honored to be here.
Max and Heather have been to the farm and to Bay at the Lake, our music venue that we had, and have played for us numerous times. They even came up and helped me celebrate my 50th birthday with their music. Yes. And so we absolutely love having them here. So what the purpose of having some of the artists on this podcast for me is, number one, learning the history of their music so that we can educate people. And then, to me, it's all about gathering and food and your memories and all of that sort of thing, because that's what brings us together, you know?
Food is our second favorite thing.
Oh, I love
absolutely.
that. I love that. So, Max, can you give us just a quick journey of your music career?
I was kind of a late bloomer. I didn't really start creating music until I was after I'd graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
I have always been a consumer of music and love music and listened to tons of music. I was a geeky high school kid with every cassette tape I could get my hands on. But then I didn't. I decided when I was in grad school, I had a roommate who played the guitar, and I don't know. It really kind of sunk its teeth into me at that point, like the creative side of it.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Dallas, and I was just really lonely, sad, homesick kid, small town kid stuck in a big city, and it was my escape, and that's what started me on the songwriting path.
Yeah.
And then I just started meeting people, and as you've said, gathering relationships and people and experiences, and it's weird to look back on it, and it seems like the blink of an eye to lead us to this moment, but that's kind of how it is.
Yeah. So how many years in the business?
I quit my day job in '02, so whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd played a few
22
years.
years.
I played a few years before that, and then decided if I was going to do it, I wanted to go full time at it.
Yeah. 22 years as a
Yeah.
full-time musician
Wow.
and an amazing Texas artist.
You're sweet to say that. You're sweet to say that.
And so, Heather, what was because yours goes back to kind of childhood like mine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Thought so.
I started playing, I guess when I was 3, I saw some little Japanese kids on TV playing, and I told my parents are both musical. They sang folk songs in the basement. And,
Not just in the basement.
and I said, I want to do that. And my parents said, all right, well, if we do it, you got to practice every day. And they were serious. So I practiced. My dad would play guitar with me in the bathroom up until I graduated high school. Wow. Whether I had prom or my friends they'd go hang out with my mom for an hour, and then I was allowed to go be a kid.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate it. Then I tried the college thing and ended up in Branson, and then tried the college thing again about 4 more times, and here I am.
Well, you skipped a few steps.
Yeah. You skipped a few steps. So
What did I skip?
on your music journey?
On my music
Because
journey.
I know you were playing with some ladies. And
Yes.
So who all of you played for?
Oh my
and
gosh.
with and
Let's see. After Branson, I moved back and played in a band, like a cover band, for several years. And then, who did I play with next? I played with Max a little bit.
Well,
Did
yeah,
you?
but you played with Johnny Lee, you played with Bob Schneider.
yeah, that's
you
what I'm trying to
played
get
with-
you to say, girl.
Yeah,
And you've played
Mark
with
Manders.
Mark Manders and so many had a standing gig down at Adair's for how long did y'all have the
I don't know. That was before we we came up with Blacktop Gypsy, Andy K. Joyner and I did.
Yeah.
And we made our first CD, I guess, in '04, and made 2 CDs with her. And then married this guy.
And how many
somewhere,
years ago was that?
16 years ago,
16
last week.
years ago.
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes. So it's.
So you've been playing with
I'm
Max
not going
ever
to tell you
since.
how many
huh?
years that is actually, but
It's okay.
it's a long
So
time.
yeah, when Andy Kay got sick, and then the Blacktop Gypsy project
Went away.
and then the
Yes.
pandemic, and so then that's when we really started playing together
Yeah.
on a more consistent basis.
So up until the pandemic, 2020, it was just kind of you would play with him whenever it worked with your other musicians, with
Yeah.
your other gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since the pandemic, y'all have been pretty much
Oh yeah, and a
he's your
little bit
full-time
before.
gig
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
He's my full-time everything.
Well, but we're yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Which was right when we met y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
That's right.
pandemic
Right.
year.
Yeah. Crazy.
So it is crazy. I'm so glad we're not in that time anymore for sure.
Man.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so my next questions have to do with food and the kitchen and cooking and all of those sort of things. So what? So who of the two of you is the cook, or do you cook together?
We cook together.
Do you?
But he's
Partnership?
He's the grill
Master.
master,
Yeah.
and I kind of plan and do all the inside stuff.
Look, Heather is the cook, and she's the chef and the planner and the cook, and has the ideas, and she's the creative on that. But I have to say, when we first got together, I was the cook because I had been a confirmed bachelor up until almost 40, and so I'd been cooking for
Yeah.
myself, and I was
A lot of pork chops.
I was
we had.
well, yeah, but I also, I fancied myself something of a
Yeah.
cook. Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
I had a pepper mill and everything.
You got a peppermint
But
and
I
everything.
did. I had a whole big stack of cookbooks, and I like to try different things, and nothing ever too elevated, trust me. But
Yeah.
But also being a food scientist, I can ask him a bunch of just dumb
You were a
questions.
food scientist?
Yes.
You went to
Yeah.
college to be a food
Got
scientist?
a master's.
What? How did I not know this?
yeah, I
You
have.
worked for Frito
I had. Yeah, there was a section of time in there where I was. I worked in the food industry as a R&D scientist.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great. I did 10 years of that
And you
while
say,
I was.
wow, the wow chips, ask him about that.
Did you develop a product called
I
Wow
didn't
Chips?
develop the Wow Chips, but I certainly
you don't
worked on the
remember
team
those.
that rolled it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How fascinating.
Yeah, it was a fascinating time of life for sure.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're in the kitchen cooking together, do y'all always play music?
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. A lot of times that's when we're talking. We talk a lot in
Yeah.
the kitchen while we're cooking.
I love that.
Yeah. But then we
I'm
listen.
telling him what to do.
Right. And don't do that. And
Yeah.
do this. But, if we do listen, it's probably our go-to is always like Merle Haggard.
Oh, yeah.
Or just old country.
Old
Yeah.
country.
Old
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And for sure,
But
a lot
then
of that.
some Eagles and some Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jazz? Do you like jazz?
we love jazz.
I
I love everything. I think I,
do
love
too. Yeah.
everything.
Except for like heavy metal.
Yeah, I'd say our jazz channel gets a goodly amount of play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I'm in the kitchen, I got to have music playing.
What do you listen to?
Oh, all of those things.
Everything.
All of those things. Mostly older country. A lot of standards.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bing Crosby. I love Frank Sinatra. I love,
Yeah, yeah.
the old standard guys. And then we love jazz and not some new country, but yeah, kind
Yeah,
of
I would
just a
say
little
that
bit of
station
everything.
doesn't really quite-
Yeah, new country isn't on my playlist very often. So, and the cool thing about the cookbook is, I don't know if y'all know this, in the front of the first cookbook and the next one that'll be coming out with y'all in it, there's a QR code in the beginning of the cookbook for people to click on, and it will play 3 to 4 songs from each artist that are in the cookbook,
Oh,
so that
that's
they have a
beautiful.
playlist to listen to while they're cooking
Oh, that's
in their
awesome.
kitchen.
So
Oh, that's
Isn't that
amazing.
fun?
Yeah.
you're
Isn't that
brilliant.
fun? That's a big word. I don't know. I don't know about that.
I think you are.
Okay, and so I guess my last big question is: do you have family traditions that are the surround food? Like, what do you always serve at holidays, or is there a specific, really strong memory to you about food and your family or gathering?
I mean, I know from my family, we were talking about this because you said, "Hey, this is one of the questions I want to ask you guys." And Heather reminded me of something that I might not have recalled, but when at Thanksgiving in particular, my mother, when we would gather with the family, she made what she calls, it's a terrine, I believe, ultimately,
Yeah.
but it's what she called hogshead cheese or souse. Mm-hmm. And Heather was always just like wildly blown away by this dish. And she served it as
Not
an
blown
appetizer,
away.
like in a good way, but in like a, what the hell are y'all having on this table
Are you making
way?
me eat this?
yeah,
I think
hogshead cheese.
You got hung up on the name.
Yeah.
You don't get hung up on the name. But yeah, and so that was always like a Thanksgiving thing that got rolled out. And I don't know where Mother picked that up, but that was always something that we did at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather, what about you?
I mean, it starts with football. I love appetizers. And I love queso. We always have queso to watch the game.
Who
But I
doesn't
love
love
goat
queso?
cheese. I love
I don't know if you could be my
bacon
friend
wrapped
if you don't
dates.
like chips
oh
and dip
my gosh, yeah.
and good wine.
So
yeah.
there's, I love finger foods.
Yes.
And then, my sister and I will make some kind of side dish. My mom used to always do the turkey and the ham, but the last few years, Max and I started smoking
Yeah.
turkeys.
Yeah.
Not smoking turkeys. and
You just started that, huh?
and so, things start changing, when you're not kids anymore.
When you're not the kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, we need to start making maybe some new
New
traditions.
traditions.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome with your kids.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What are yours?
Oh gosh. Up until my dad passed away, he was always turkey and dressing, and so we had to. It's funny. Ever since then, almost every single year, one of my brothers and my sister and I, all three will make dressing, and it's like this elbow side competition of, well, whose dressing is the best? Whose
Right.
tastes the
I
most like
love
Dad.
So can I ask, is it cornbread based or bread based?
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
cornbread based. We do, at least I do in mine. I don't know about my brother and sister. And on mine, I always do also like toasted bread that I crumble up a little bit. Like a third of it is that. And then cornbread crumbled.
My mom's from Chicago, so we do Yankee stuffing.
Yeah.
But I love cornbread dressing, and I don't have the heart to tell her. Hopefully, she's not going to hear this. I love your stuffing, Mom. I really do.
We finally because we have a blended family. In other words, my brothers both married women from way up north, and so we would have
Yeah,
our
you gotta have
Thanksgivings.
both.
Like I say, we would have both, and I have to say, I've developed a taste for the stuffing as well.
Isn't
I
that
have.
so? He likes stuffing now as a
Yeah.
Southerner.
No, I didn't say I like it. I didn't say I preferred it.
prefers
I
cornbread,
said I've
trust
developed a
me.
real taste for it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, well, I think that's one last thing. Do you have a favorite cocktail or wine that you love to serve when you're gathering people?
Oh my gosh! I mean, we got into a pumpkin teeny thing one year. That was pretty good. I just, I love mimosas in the morning and a nice glass of wine
With
all
dinner.
day, every day.
At any moment.
That's
moment.
why Heather and I kicked it off so
That's right.
well and became so tight so quick because of our love of wine.
That's right.
Heather and I could sit all day and just visit and drink our
And
wine.
drink wine.
My family had a huge tradition of homemade eggnog.
Oh, yeah.
And my uncles, this is on my mother's side, all the brothers, there were 4 brothers, and they would get together in my grandmother's kitchen. It's the only time she allowed alcohol in her house. And they kept bourbon old cheap bourbon that they had stashed there throughout the year. It just stayed there, and that
Just
was
for
the
the
only
eggnog.
time it came out. And this huge production. It went on for hours of breaking all the eggs and separating the yolks, and then whipping the whites, and then adding in all the seasoning. I mean, and this
Oh, my
stuff
gosh.
would take your head off. And they made it.
Ricky loves eggnog.
Oh yeah.
I wish I did.
I don't
just
care.
can't.
I love it, and every
I
year
can't
I go
do it.
I insist on going and buying a jug of it.
He does.
And I drink about 3 of them, and then it gets
And
dumped
then
out.
it stays in the refrigerator. And in March, I'm like, Max,
Yeah.
this has got to
The
go.
eggnog's
Oh, no,
got to
I'm
go.
going to drink that.
I'm gonna drink that.
Oh, please.
That is so Ricky. I love it. Well, guys, thank you so
You
so
bet.
much
Thank
for
you.
sitting with us and
Oh,
just
no.
letting
Great to
some
be here.
people to see a little glimpse into your lives.
We're excited
you for
about this
doing this.
cookbook and the next one.
Yeah, y'all are going to be in cookbook number 2, Cooks, Gatherings and Guitars Red Dirt Edition. So
Lovely,
all of our
lovely.
Texas friends. So, all right, guys, thanks so much, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Pull up a chair, fill up a plate. Come over early, you gon' stay late. Ain't nothing better than music and friends. It's gatherings and guitars.